graduate from high school, there's white boys and white girls over there with their mama and daddy with full scholarships already paid for before they even got out of high school. They already playing this up for their baby. And here we talking about, well, I did good. And oh man, I went a single parent as well, but my grandma had my mama back. So it ain't like we didn't have no daddy. He was around till we were 10, 12. But
and don't we agree that this is a reflection of her disobedience, right? Like, I mean, let's just be real. If the son talked back, you don't think he got that from the mama that talked back?
Right.
Like, it's the thing. I mean, it's literally being passed down. I don't know why women run around with, like, don't get me wrong, if you're a single mom, kudos to you, you're doing your thing, whatever you got to do, but running around with this, like, it's like, and I only see black women doing it, right? I don't worry about the white ones. We got to stop running around with this, like, single mother badge of honor or something. You know, I don't know if you remember that song by Fantasia back in the day, Baby Mama. I mean, she basically called y'all out. Literally, nowadays, it's like a badge of honor to be a baby mama. That was literally one of the lyrics. And we're still up here acting like,
man, she was not a problem. That song, boy.
So I don't know. It just goes to show the reflection when we talk about, you know, the betterment of the children. Sometimes we gotta look at the reflection of the children because they get it from the adults, right? So we gotta stop acting like. And somebody even dropped a stat in the chat: 92% of prisoners come from single mother homes. So, and we know we don't make up a large percentage in the prison, but that still is a number that has to be looked at in our community. So I'm just going back on mute. But I mean, she jumped off that cliff. I mean, and she took her son with her. I will say, what Mr. M is saying, though, is that father should have grabbed that son. Okay, let the woman jump off the cliff if she want to. Because obviously women, we swear we're going to do it on our own, and then we end up at the bottom of Mount Everest looking crazy. He should have grabbed that son and got up out of there. So that's the only point I can say. Whereas the man, he might have failed. He could have grabbed his son out of that situation.
I got a question.
The man is any better than you don't know if he's actually like a better person than she is. They could be the same, and he'll turn out.
I mean, that is true. That's true.
We just thinking that he didn't. So I think you say his daddy probably gonna take him on the drive by. What you telling me? His daddy ride around with him.
A bad father is better than no father.
He's probably a shitty father too. Same like her.
But I will say this. I'm gonna say this real quick. Yo, why is it that what we used to call a widow's lifestyle is what we telling our sisters to look forward to? Like before, we used to be like, okay, take care of the widows, take care of the people whose fathers passed, look out for them in the community. And now we telling females that, yeah, the man could be alive and just live a widow's lifestyle. And it's a very hard life. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we saying, okay, that should be normalized. And that's crazy. Yeah, we been hijacked.
But I mean, honestly, right? I mean, these women are only doing what we allowing them to do. If we gonna be real about it, right? Like, I mean, in 2024, like, no woman should be having custody of their children, right? Like, if we see what has happened, right? After all these decades, black man, right? Wouldn't it be advantageous to get full custody of that child even when you with the mother of that child? You hear me? Just sitting in the chamber. You see what I'm saying? If you decide to dive off the cliff, go ahead, handle your business. You hear me? But I got full custody of this kid. If you can stay and stick around and handle your business, you hear me? Of course, we're going to rock out like regular. But whenever you decide to penguin dive off that cliff, you hear me? Swan dive, Taylor Swift style, you hear me? Then, you know, the kid will be over here. And then they going to be contaminated, right, by your disobedience.
Because them would be wanting the kids anyways. I had these kids for him. I did all this for him.
Hey, you see what Boosie going through with his daughter?
Their voice don't be that high.
Yo, what y'all think about Boosie? What Boosie doing with his daughter? You know what I'm saying? It's a cold
That's
thing.
a real touchy subject right there, man.
Baby girl gotta recognize, you know what I'm saying? And
Chill
maybe
out,
she too
Each
young
out
right
here,
now.
he came
He
out and
exposed her
apologized.
to that lifestyle.
He did?
He had her around women. Like, he showed her that. So all
Hold on,
she did
what
was
Love
pick up
said?
his behavior.
She
She's
said
like,
he apologized. We saw it on social media.
Like, just like a black man submitting to the black woman, he didn't went and apologized on social
Because he
media.
knew he was wrong because they was beefing. He never had a problem with her being gay. He was beefing over something about her and her mama. It was never about, they were beefing about something else and he took it out on her. That's how I saw it. They been beefing.
I don't know.
That's cap, man. That's cap.
That's not cap if he came out and apologized. He came out and
Nah,
apologized.
that is cap. What the fuck that mean? Nigga, Hillary Clinton apologized. What the fuck that mean?
Look. If he would have stood on business, he wouldn't apologize. He would have meant what I said, and that's it.
See what I'm saying? And y'all would have drugged him through the mud for doing that. You see what I'm saying? Y'all gotta make y'all mind up, bro.
Nah.
You hear me? He made a statement. You hear me? He stepped for that shit. You hear me? Now, what nobody want to connect, right, is no, it didn't start out with the daughter. It started out with the woman who raised his daughter. That's what the fuck it started from right there, right? But you contaminated, right, my product. You hear me? You contaminated my product. Bitch, you made her gay. You hear me? And you know, right, just like Magic Johnson and his kid, right? See, now we gotta wake something up. Now we really gotta wake something up, son. These women that take these kids as hostages, right? And then they turn them into terrorists against the father to get back at the father, bro. When are we gonna have that conversation, bro? You hear me? How many times do you think in that household, right, that mother had a choice and was like, Boosie wouldn't fuck with me, teaching her about this. You know what I'm saying? Being ambiguous and in the gray area, right? You hear me? And advocating for fluidity. You hear me? Well, I have a girlfriend, you know. Mom, like, what's going on? Like, you with another woman. Well, you know, it don't matter who you love, sweetie. You see what I'm saying? As long as you love who you love, it's all good. Blah, blah, blah. Created the whole environment for his daughter to be gay. Right? Now, see, the darker truth is, right, that daughter has not gained enough tits to confront her mother. So she attacked her father because he and the black man is the punching bag of the community. You let all your emotions out, all your frustrations out on the black man, right? And then for political correctness, you hear me, the black man is just gonna save face. You hear me, ain't gonna really take it there for real. And then just apologize like Boosie did. You hear me? But all three of them motherfuckers, they know exactly, you hear me, what the fucking problem was. And one of these days, Boosie gonna really walk it down. But until then, stay tuned, bro. Because this is normal in the black community, bro. Raise up a fucking demon, you hear me, and then blame the fucking father, you hear me. But then when you go and figure out what that father on, that nigga been living the life of an angel. You see what I'm saying? Completely opposite from what the woman is raising that child, but then she blames that man. You hear me? Come to find out she was a demon raising a demon.
That's heavy, bro. That's heavy. Especially if they done weaponized, and then you can have a child tell you, I don't care if you get old, they have to go into the old nursing home. I ain't gonna come take care of you. That's what time it is right now, fam. They done got grown and got into the military, doing what they want to do. Their mama put them in ROTC program, the white man's program. And it's over with, fam.
And I do want to know, when was women going to stop with using the kids? It ain't worked ever. I mean, using the child, it's never worked. It never got you to keep that man. It never got you to, it didn't get you nothing. So I don't understand why even, women are still doing that. It's never been a game they've been able to win. I just wonder, I don't know. I'd be confused. I get.
Look, Jazz, has the mother spoken? Has she spoken out to any capacity?
I've been looking for that video on YouTube, everything. I'm trying to find his lyrics, how he rap, everything. I don't see nothing on YouTube.
You see what I'm saying? So, these old dirty that I'm telling you, dog. You heard me say, look, here go a Molotov, throw it through the window. You heard me? XYZ, then her daughter did that shit, now she floating on the raft by herself. Mom's ain't about to say nothing, she ain't about to come out nowhere because she is the puppeteer. She is the puppeteer, son. And a lot of people don't understand them dynamics in the community for real, son. That shit happens. You hear me? I'm gonna raise a demon, you hear me? But that demon is gonna turn on me, and now I'm gonna try to throw that demon onto you. You see what I'm saying?
That's real. The question I want to know is, if he is rapping, how many bodies he got in his rap lyrics? Is he talking about killing? If so is a man thinking, so is he or she. And she's orchestrating, putting a battery in his back. Or how you say, AKA, what they say,
I was gonna say,
grooming him. She grooming him for that blitz lifestyle. She want to captivate that bag at a young age.
Real
Probably
quick,
give her a little Romeo or something. That's what she doing.
2K, why you keep saying he raised her? Her mother raised her. He didn't raise her.
He raised his kids. He got his kids when they was young. Some of his kids, yes, he did. He got when they was young. They've been living with him.
And then,
You know
and then who got custody? And then who got custody?
Right.
He had a show where he was raising his kids.
Then who got custody?
I don't know at what age, but I know that he had his kids at some point, and so did she.
Black man, I'm telling you. Black man. You should have full custody when that baby touched the earth. Non-negotiable. See what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's clear as day. Can't play them games, bro. You sit around, you hear me? You sit around, waiting around, XYZ. She don't have to run to the courthouse to do anything. You want to know why? Because she has a default mechanism in place so that she don't have to. That's a default. A default. Y'all split up, the kid's gonna go with her. That's a default. You hear me? And now you scrambling around XYZ, blah, blah, blah. God damn. You hear me? What? Why the fuck is you hear me? I gotta, I'm moving off your time, XYZ. Why they gotta stay with you for the majority of the time? Well, that's that default mechanism. You ain't want to go ahead and get out in front of it, right? And control that whole dynamic because you thought it was oppressive as a man to take control and dominion over his bloodline. You hear me? Women are going to be women. You hear me? From that standpoint, bro, you treat them as such. I think it's that simple, bro.
That's priceless. I wish I would have learned that 24 years ago. The programs that was around at the time were giving incentives and diapers and extra stuff for you. As long as you stayed in school with the school program, if you was having a child or whatever at a young age, not married, they give you diapers and whatnot. But ultimately, they said if you sign this child support paper and put yourself on child support as a young man, if y'all ain't gonna get married, you ain't gotta worry about her coming after you get your career and stuff like that and trying to get back pay and current pay. So I put myself on child support when the child was born, not knowing she got total custody. And if I would have knew what Wu knew at the time, I would have been gung-ho on that right there. But the agenda at the time was all about who could create a family. The judge is going to only look at
how many kids you got, brother?
Just one.
How old you at?
45.
Yeah, it's time to get to work, brother. About 5 more. Let's get it. Let's get it. You hear me? Oh, yeah. You hear me? You live and you learn, but you handle your business and you get it right. Just like that. You hear me? And the proof is gonna be in the motherfucking pudding, nigga. And that's for anybody in this bitch. You hear me? I don't give a fuck. You 40, 45, 50, 55. You hear me? Handle your fucking business. Pop them, you hear me? Pop them motherfuckers out and do it the right way. You hear me? Fuck it. You hear me? Everybody make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. XYZ. That's the pathway of a man. You hear me? But fuck it. We gonna get it right. You hear me? And we gonna have apex. You hear me? Apex motherfuckers of the bloodline, bro. You hear me? Look, it's been too many decades, you hear me, of a woman determining the motherfucking household, son. We done seen everything we needed to see underneath that paradigm, son. You hear me? But you wanna know what's funny? The community is on the up and up right now, and black fatherhood is on the up and up at the same exact time. Ain't that funny? So what's gonna happen when all kids are in the custody of black men? Whenever that's the community standard right there. So as we have a consequence for black women. You see what I'm saying? Now, right, we have a consequence for black women. If you want to dive out there and do whatever the fuck you want to do and go against the protocol of the man of the household, right? Okay, you lose your children in the process. How about we do that? You see what I'm saying? And most black men, they ain't gonna put the whole on child support or nothing like that. Niggas gonna just keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, bro, we gotta start applying pressure to these women, you know, because they is like children. You hear me? They gonna try to put their hand on the motherfucking stove. You gotta spank their fucking wrist. You see what I'm saying? Back the fuck up before you get your fucking hand fucked up. You see what I'm saying? And I think it's just like that. You hear me? That's why I say keep a leash, you hear me, and a collar. You hear me? In the kitchen. Hang that bitch up on the wall. Keep a nice leather belt next to it, too. See what I'm saying? She start wilding out. Whop the fuck out of her a good 2 times. You see what I'm saying? Then she gonna revert right.